Dreaming. Welcome everybody to the Sacred You community, where we're going to talk tonight about emotional intelligence and the techniques that we can use for thriving in any situation. So I'm Bex Smith, your cheerleader for change, and this topic is very important to me because I help individuals through emotional change. So I help them find their inner cheerleader so that they can actually quiet that noise down about that, negative self and really bring in their own inner cheerleader. So I'm really excited tonight to be joined by a wonderful panel that I've had on different panels before. So seeing everyone, no new faces for us, but seeing everyone again is great. And knowing just the amazing experiences that they've all had and shared before, and I know that they bring a wealth of knowledge, experience to this topic, so I can't wait to get started. So I'm coming to you live from Melbourne tonight, usually from Sydney, but I'm in Melbourne for some business, so excited to be joining you wherever you are in the world, whether it be night or day. Thanks for joining us on any platform that you are on as well. Before we introduce the speakers, I'd like to just put out there that we will be taking questions from the audience. So if you would like to ask any questions, drop it in any of the comment sections that you have so that we can make sure that we get that to the speakers. So that'll be really good. And of course, tonight we are talking about that emotional intelligence. So we're looking at today that we face so many challenges in the world, and that can take our toll on our mental health and our emotional health as well. So what we're actually looking at is some personal, professional setbacks, health issues, how you bounce back from that adversity, and how you actually get that emotional resilience and emotional intelligence to help you really thrive in any situation rather than letting it bring you down. So we're going to start with Tiffany today to introduce herself and where she's from, and just the work that she does in the world. And then we'll head to Joyita, Diana, and I think that's all the panelists that we have tonight. So it's a nice small group. So we are looking forward to hearing from everybody. So Tiffany, do you want to start us off, please?
Sure. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Tiffany West, and I'm an emotional care coach. My business is interior health design. It's all about authentic living and body-based healing from the inside out. And I help women and families overcome depression and anxiety that are all rooted in relational trauma. So I help them really uncover where they are holding and, kind of residing in negative wounding, emotional wounding, and those scars are invisible. So they're not able to really connect the dots on what's happening in their current lives. Some of the stresses they may be encountering, physical symptoms, mental health challenges. I help them really get to the root of the emotional wound underneath that, and so that they can heal it from the bottom up and really start building on top of that foundation, having more success, more connection with themselves and others, and more money, which is awesome, and abundance in their lives. So I really help them work from the ground up to really create the life that they're here to live.
Beautiful. Can't wait to hear your hints and tips as well too, Tiffany. Thanks for that. Joyita, whereabouts are you from, and what work do you do in the world?
Namaste. I'm from India. My name is Joyita. It is a very auspicious day today. It is not only the full moon, we celebrate a festival called Rakhi over here in India, a day where the sisters tie Rakhi on their brother's wrist. And I'm honored to be tying a virtual Rakhi thread, a virtual thread around the wrists of my sisters of the Sacred You community. And to all the women who are watching us and the brothers too, I wish you a very happy Rakhi. I am a Reiki Grandmaster. I am a multimodality coach. For the Sacred You community, I am a tribe host of this tribe, beautiful tribe for inner child healing called the Child Within. Other than this, across the world, I try to help people find their way to live a life filled with equilibrium, the way that we were designed to live. So I just help to facilitate that inner healing in you. Thank you.
Beautiful and wonderful to have you again, Joyita, joining us. And what a special occasion to have you on this call tonight as well too, or today. Diana, whereabouts are you from and what wonderful things do you bring to the world?
Thank you. Thank you. I'm in London. My name is Diana Esther, and good morning, good evening, good day to everybody around the world. And I'm so happy to be with all of you, joining from my heart. I've created an educational platform for super sensitive women. And I believe that our sensitivity is our biggest gift. People look upon it as something that is disturbing, something that is negative, something that they want to get rid of. But in real sense, our sensitivity and our emotions is our biggest gift. Gift of transformation and gift of manifestation. So I'm here to bring light and enlightenment to the world, to bring people from darkness, not understanding who they truly are, connecting them to their sacred heart, to empower them, to give them knowledge and understanding they are everything they ever wanted. They already have within them, to empower them from within and to bring them on the road of their own success, because they are that success they're looking for. So my mission for the rest of my life, to bring world from darkness into light, to bring balance, harmony, and love, connecting everyone who comes my way.
Beautiful, Diana, and we're all here to hear your beautiful wisdom and to see that diamond within as well too. So love that concept in that book. So everybody, let's get stuck into this topic, because as I said, this is really a wonderful topic from my perspective, because I think that emotional intelligence is really the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions, as well as when you're in relationship with others, the emotions that come from others. So it really helps as a tool for success in both professional and personal contexts. And I know that I've had and deal with every day, my own emotions in relation to others, especially when I'm in conversations, in dealing with different clients and different situations. So I'm really excited to sort of look at what the significance is, first of all, of emotional intelligence in today's world, and hear what each of the panelists think that the significance is for them. So I think we'll actually start with Joyita, and then we'll head to Tiffany and back to Diana.
Thank you so much, Bex, for this question. In today's world, emotional intelligence holds immense significance. It enhances interpersonal interactions and collaboration, and we all know that life is about collaboration and not competition. And in a world where we have artificial intelligence taking over, emotional intelligence has a lot of significance. It fosters empathy and connection, which AI cannot do. Latest technologies cannot bring in the love, the compassion that we have in our heart. It also helps us to improve our leadership skills. So people, individuals, I would say, with high emotional intelligence can understand, they can manage, they can express their emotions effectively, and in return, they can foster better relationships, better communications. And in today's world, we know that we are working in diverse work environments across the globe. So resolving conflicts and building cohesive teams is of utmost importance. So I think that emotional intelligence cultivates that self-awareness, the empathy, and it helps individuals to connect authentically with each other.
Beautifully said. Thank you very much, Joyita. Tiffany, what are your thoughts on it?
There we go. I love that, Joyita. Thank you for sharing that because I couldn't agree more. I feel like emotional intelligence is really at the core of our ability to show up optimally and really tap into our gifts, as Diana said, and live the life that we were really born to live, authentic to who we are. And many of us don't feel that we can do that because there's not a sense of safety in being who we are. Because early on, we are trained and our brain knows that it's safer for us to abandon who we are if that means that we can create connections outside of us with the ones that we love, even when the situation is not always healthy or not always serving us. We tend to abandon that part of who we are. Coming home to our emotions, coming back home to our body, where our emotional energy lives, is how we start that process of really reconnecting and remembering who we are and creating that sense of safety internally to be able to feel confident and tapped into our true power. And that really fuels our personal and financial success and our professional success. So when we heal emotionally, that allows our body to feel safe enough to heal physically. It allows our mind to be able to work the way it was designed to work and create the things in our lives that we want to manifest. And when we know how to come in and reconnect with those emotions that aren't comfortable, we actually access that power within us to be who we really truly are and feel safe in doing that. Without that, we walk around in the world disconnected. Our relationships are not as solid as they could be, and we're not able to really access the information and the divine wisdom that comes through our emotional body. So it's very, very important that we learn how to manage and regulate and heal emotionally so that we can tap into our fullest potential and our authenticity.
I love that. I love that you brought the body awareness in as well too, because I think that felt sense and that body emotional turns into physical aspect as well is really important when we're thinking about the success of ourselves and then our physical self also showing up in relationship with us and others. So
yeah,
well said,
absolutely.
Tiffany. Diana, what are your thoughts on it?
I think emotional intelligence, it's one of the most important tools we have in life. We disregard a lot of things because we thought to be separated from ourselves. We always look for any kind of help to begin with on the outside. We have not been brought up to understand that we are the answer to everything, to our tragedies, to our problems, to our luck. We're looking on the outside to find somebody to blame, whether it's family situation, husbands, children, friends, economical situation, not understanding that the first place to look is to look within. Because as long as we're looking on the outside, we would never succeed. Success begins from within. Whether it's your professional success, but whether it's success in your life, it starts with you. And you're the most important person in your life because you came by yourself, you're going to go by yourself. And as I always say, on the cemetery, everybody is equal. There is no difference. The only difference is it's what you make out of your life while you're here. When you are empowered from within, and when you feel that you are worthy, that you are special, that you've been created as a diamond to shine your light in this world. And as Tiffany said, to collaborate, not to Joyita, not to compete with anybody, that you are unique and your uniqueness shines your light, helping everybody else that feels lack of something to shine the truth in this world, to create connection and communities and creating global success, beginning with your own. So I cannot stress more enough that inner transformation is the answer for everything. When we separate ourselves as our body is separate to us, our emotions separate to us, our thoughts are separate to us, nothing is separate. It all comes from one seed of consciousness. And if your consciousness is not high enough, it vibrates on a low vibration, you will be like everybody else, suffering, looking for the way out, putting Band-Aid on your wound, and the wound will come back again and again. There is no permanent cure unless we raise our consciousness. And I'm here to help, to find this consciousness within each and every one individual that comes my way, to help them to raise their vibration with understanding and connection to the diamond within.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Diana. Really love that, bringing back to self again and really connecting into that divine, unique wisdom that we have internally. Beautiful. So I'm going to ask now, and we'll start with Tiffany, and then we'll head back to Diana and Joyita. I'd love to know some examples on how emotional intelligence can positively impact relationships, and that might be at home or in the workplace. So if you've got any examples on how you've helped individuals perhaps, get in touch with their emotional intelligence, or develop their emotional intelligence, but more the impact that it has positively on relationships. So if you can give us some ideas on that, Tiffany, some examples would be great.
Yeah, so I work a lot with moms and busy moms, and as Diana said, very sensitive women. And where I have seen the most impact in relationships is with moms and their children. When we can be emotionally aware and intelligent around what we're feeling, when we're triggered, and how to really regulate our nervous systems, then our children are co-regulating with us as well. So when we're feeling anxious, when we're feeling emotionally flooded, or things are really intense for us emotionally, we see that dynamic play out in our relationships with our children. And they really pick up on that energy, which emotions are just energy in motion. And when they pick up on that energy, it could work in our favor. It could work as something that feels very uphill battle, feels like you're fighting against the current, and there's a lot of friction in the relationship. Where I have found that it can positively impact relationships is the more connected we are with ourselves, we give those around us, and especially our little offspring, the permission to feel safe to connect with themselves and be who they are. And when everybody is showing up in the relationship true to who they are, rooted in their authenticity, then the creative energy that is underneath a lot of emotional trauma gets to come out and be the guiding light in our lives, be the guiding force that leads us, that builds that stronger connection of safety within ourselves and our own body, that therefore others feel that same sense of safety within themselves and with us. So it's just a beautiful harmony when I see parents come together, when I work with my clients, and I see them struggling when I first start to work with them and they're completely disconnected from themselves. The more we do the work to create that internal safety, regulate their nervous system, let their body know that they are safe, and we're healing some of those past experiences that sent the message that they are not safe. When we can heal that, and the moms can start to become really connected and confident in who they are, their relationship with their children just flourishes. Their children get to be safe in who they are. And then we're raising a generation of human souls that are connected to their authenticity, versus what we're seeing today, a lot of very disconnected people without knowing where to start, or that they have permission to connect with themselves. So I think it's very foundational personally. And then I've also seen it in the workplace. I used to work in corporate before I started coaching full time. And I feel like that without emotional intelligence in the workplace, we still are not able to show up 100%. And we're not actually performing at our capacity to be in touch with who we truly are. And so bringing emotional intelligence into the workplace is really vital as well, so that we have compassion and people understanding each other. And like we've mentioned earlier, we can stop competing with each other and start connecting and communing with one another. And together we can build more with more people. So it's just really foundational in connection.
I love that. And it's so important, I think, that role modeling and as you said, role modeling for the future generations, and that generational healing that it does have as well too. Once you've got that role modeling, then there's that beautiful healing and that way of being that just is now instilled in that beautiful next generation. So love that you work with that, Tiffany. And of course in corporate as well too, it's so important to be able to fully show up and then be able to emotionally just maintain yourself and your awareness of self, especially in that relationship with others when it's so short. Sometimes with those short, sharp meetings that you might have, or those interactions with individuals, and how they might actually carry into relationships on projects or things like that too. So it's really important with that awareness there. That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Tiffany. Diana, your thoughts on the, Daisy, any examples on how emotional intelligence can positively impact relationships that you've seen either at home or in the workplace?
Absolutely. I wanted to shine the light on emotional intelligence at the moment when you don't have emotional support. When you don't have like-minded people around you. It's easy if you have family that supports you, if you have people that are trying to help you, but what if you don't have this? And I'm talking from experience because all my life, I've been not supported on my journey. Since my early childhood, since I was 5 years old, I felt very much alone in life. And everything I ever went through, it was between me and the universe without knowledge or understanding. So I feel that the power within us and the light within us is our healers. And in order to understand how to help yourself on this emotional journey, you have to be able to connect who you truly are. Whenever something happening in life, if you know how to support your own self, giving yourself everything that you are lacking in life. If you're lacking support, you have to find this teacher, this guru, this love within you that helps you to stand strong through all your challenges, because there is no other way. We can either bend or we break. And then we become ill, and then we become completely lost in life. I think the inner empowerment is the biggest answer to everything. So when I feel not supported, when I feel alone, I turn in and give love to myself as much as I can. The child within me, I look at myself as the child, this 5-year-old child that was in the hospital bed and almost died without understanding what's happened to him. So I've learned to give love back to me. I've learned that everything I ever wanted, I have to begin with me. I have to nurture myself. I have to support myself. I have to understand myself. So if it's just sitting quietly for a moment and taking few deep breaths, or giving myself a hug of love, or just going for a walk in the park and looking at the beauty around me. All these little things always available to us. We don't have to search for them. We don't need professionals to help us with it. They are little tools. You can buy yourself a bouquet of flowers and smell the beauty and look at it and breathe in this beauty within you and feel already emotionally better, because emotions are feelings. And feel everything around us make us feel either negative or positive, make us feel good and empowered, or make us feel weak and victimized. So it's up to you how you look at any emotional challenge. But I encourage you to look from within. People that come into our life, relationships, personal relationships, work relationships, they all begin with you. When you ask yourself why this challenge came into my life, why I feel abuse from other people, why I feel weak. Ask yourself what it is within me that needs to be learned, what it is within me that wants to be seen, because other people is our mirrors. They reflect back to us what it is lacking within us. The connection we want with others begins with connections within us. Connection with ourselves is our lifetime investment, the biggest investment you can give to yourself.
Thanks, Diane. And that's really bringing us back to that relationship with self is the most important relationship, and the reflection that we have and the ripple effect that we have with others as well too, which is great. Joyita, bringing us back to the question, can you provide some examples on how emotional intelligence can positively impact relationships, perhaps at home or in the workplace?
Thank you so much, Tiffany and Diana, for sharing your experiences, because it helps to add on to my own healing experience. So I would like to just give you an example at the house, at personal space. I lost my mother recently, and my father is all alone, and I have decided to be his caregiver, to be with him. So this emotional intelligence helps me to provide that support to him and create a safe space for him to be what he is, because he forgets things. He does a lot of things which to a normal person you cannot understand, and there are tempers which are high. He will do one thing 1 minute and next minute he'll be doing something. But it is this feeling that, I have taken on this responsibility proactively, happily. I chose it myself. And thinking of from a space of empathy, I'm able to take care of it. And now, in a way, it sounds a little funny. It's like a role reversal, because now I am the parent and he's like a child. He's probably younger than my children. My children are teenagers now. And one of them is an adult, but he is younger than those kids. He's just like a kid who doesn't understand. And this empathy is what helps me to take care. And yes, there are moments when, I do feel low, I feel upset. Why is he doing this? And then I get back to that thing that probably he doesn't understand. He's just lost sense of everything. So here, this emotional intelligence is helping both of us to go through this situation in our life. And I would also like to explain something, share something from the professional angle, because I am from a telecom background, and till a few years back, I was actively into telecom. So what happens is I was handling the HNI customers, and obviously the customers have their own wants, likes, they have their own concerns. So I could deal with customers better. Customer service, which we used to call, that was the only differential customer service, is what used to set my company apart from the rest of our competitors. There were no collaborations in that business, let me tell you. So there we could understand what is it that the customer wants, what is he coming from, how to handle an irate customer. Why is he irate? Is it something that, it's something he has certain expectations from a company. So handling those kind of situations, also negotiating better deals, because when you think from the other person's perspective, treat him with empathy, you are also able to gain that respect for yourself, for your company, because you are the face of the company. You're able to gain respect from that customer, for yourself, for your company, and strike better deals. So the negotiation at the table, a business deal, would become easy. So these are just the two examples which come to my mind immediately, but there could be many other examples.
I love that, from a family to the corporate as well too, and that balance that we have, whether we deal with our dad or we deal with customers, it's having that emotional intelligence for ourselves to know that perhaps somebody else is having an emotional reaction and there's something that is happening inside of them and inside of us that we can see sometimes isn't actually what they're really saying. So sometimes people can react emotionally when you're in a conversation or relationship with them. And it's about being able to have that emotional intelligence to really take a step back, have some empathy of where they might be at in their shoes, in the situation, or help them get to that point to really be able to understand what they're really trying to say to you or what they really want in the end. So I think that's a really good point, Joyita, of that balance between, having something, someone have a emotional reaction and then actually finding out what really is that source problem or that source opportunity for them to find the solution for themselves or together as well. So I'm going to look at some myth busting now. So I'm wondering if there's any common misconceptions or myths about emotional intelligence that you'd like to address. So is there anything that you're thinking, people think this is emotional intelligence and I want to myth bust that, or, some solutions that people think, oh, having an emotional intelligence is just, being emotional, perhaps, those types of things. So love to know some of those myth-busting things that you'd like to share with us, Diana, first, and then I think we'll go Joyita and Tiffany.
I think a lot of people have a misconception of what emotions are. They think emotions, it's simply reacting on life, reacting with words, reacting with feelings, and next time I'll try it better. They don't understand that emotions connected to our subconscious mind. They connected to our memory body. Our body keeps memory of everything. Our body is powerful, clever, and super computer. So whenever something happens emotionally, it's usually will repeat itself in circles. If it's not now, it will happen in a few months' time. If it's not in a few months' time, it will happen tomorrow. Because people have this tendency not connecting to the emotions. They don't understand what they mean. They can't decode them because emotions, they just hiding themselves within us. They seems to be different to what they truly are. And when you understand that emotions is a gift to set you emotionally free. If you only connect to them, if you only will begin to understand why they're showing up in your life, not tucking them under the carpet and saying, you know what, nobody's seen it, I don't want to know about it. A lot of people do it. And it's unfortunately manifest in illness one of those days. Nothing can be disposed of. It can only be transformed. There is no negativity. We can't kill negativity. We can't kill our emotions. We can't say we are not our emotion. Let's go to the doctor. Let's cut our emotion free. Let's have a surgery and we are fine. It's not happening. You can cut yourself in pieces. You can go and have surgeries. But unless you deal with this emotion, unless emotion is visible to you, you connected to her, you accept this emotion, and you're grateful for this emotion, for your inner healing, nothing will change. It will repeat itself over and over and over again. So our mind is programmed to keep us safe, as you mentioned previously, and keep us in circles, deviated from the road of truth. So if we don't know what truthfully is, we will lost in assuming, presuming, listen to others, calling a friend. What do you think about it? How did it feel? Who knows how you feel better than you? Who knows your emotions better than your own self? How can anybody else be helpful to you if you're not helpful to yourself? There are many tools and many modalities. And I believe when people collect the negative emotions over a period of time, they will manifest, unfortunately, usually in very, very bad diseases like cancer. I went through cancer myself at the early age. I healed myself. I healed my cancer, and my cancer was my teacher. And I'm grateful to my illness every moment of my life that it's opened my consciousness, my heart and my mind to understand who I am, to be able to heal me and help others to heal themselves. So I believe this is the biggest misconception, because people think emotions is just a feeling. Emotions is the tool of manifestation. It will manifest your life of success, happiness, and joy, or give you depression and unfortunately make you ill. Thank you.
Thanks, Diana. And we are definitely cyclic beings, so things will come around again if we don't deal with them, and they will sometimes, be compacted as well too, each time we deny or don't listen to the emotions that are coming up, or our physical bodies that then become the emotion. When energy in motion is emotion for me. So we've got to keep that energy in flow and consciousness so that we can actually have that intelligence with what is happening for us. Great, thank you. I think we're going to Joyita next. Is there any myths that you need to bust?
Thank you, Bex, for that question. According to me, a myth or a misconception is that emotional intelligence is an inherent trait. It cannot be developed. In reality, emotional intelligence is something which we can cultivate through self-awareness, through practice. We can, work upon ourselves that, we don't have to avoid a conflict when it happens, but we can address it constructively. And sometimes, people think that it is, emotional intelligence is about it's being overly emotional or always displaying a positive demeanor, but it is not about always being positive. It's impossible. It's humanly impossible. But what we can do is we can work. There's a lot of self-work happens. When we work upon ourselves and we are able to take care of our emotions, like Diana just shared that she has healed herself of cancer, which, like, for many people it's a dreaded word, but she has healed herself. She's considered it as a teacher. So we can always work upon ourselves to create that level of emotional intelligence. It's not something which we are born with, and it is not something which you can, if it is not inherently there, you cannot cultivate it. And emotional intelligence, according to me, does not mean that you have to suppress your emotions. It does not mean that you have to be always on top of things. It means you have to recognize and manage your emotions. That is very important. We need not always be cheerful. Come on, I come across as a very smiling and a peppy kind of a person, but I also have my own emotions and I'm entitled to it. I'm entitled to a huge range of emotions and I embrace all of them. Everything, I validate each and every of my feelings. And that is how I consider myself an emotionally intelligent person. And that is how I'm able to take care of my clients in business, at home, everywhere. It is about prioritizing your own wellness, your own well-being. That, according to me, most people think that, the biggest myth is that it's just suppressing your emotions. No, I don't know. Yeah.
Thank you, Joyita. Yes, we are all multifaceted beings that have lots of different emotions and are entitled to having that as well too. I definitely agree. Tiffany, love to hear any myth busting that you need, but I just want to do a plug. If anyone has any questions, it's the last opportunity because we are running out of time fast because we're having such a great conversation. If you do have any questions, just let us know and we can ask them next to the panel. Thanks, Tiffany.
Yeah, so thank you, Joyita and Diana. I really believe the biggest misconception around emotional intelligence is that your emotions can't be trusted, like the information is not valid. Being emotionally intelligent and aware in our culture has been kind of ingrained and conditioned that mental intelligence takes precedence, which it is a very valuable thing that we need. It's one leg on the stool, but emotional intelligence is the pillar. It's foundational. And what I feel that people misconceive about emotions is that it's woo-woo, or there's no science to back it, and they can't be trusted, or if you're too emotional about something, you're not in your right mind. And I love to debate back on that, because I feel like that we have an emotional brain, we have an emotional body, and that is connected to our inner wisdom. That goes far beyond what our brain can conceptualize. Our brain has limits, and emotional intelligence comes from a divine source. So there is no limit, there is no cap. It's nothing but truth that comes from that place. But because we are not typically taught to trust in our emotions, to feel our emotions, to not fear our emotions, to feel all of them, and they are all valuable, as Joyita said. It's not about being positive and cheerful and happy constantly all the time. It's about being connected and being able to be brave enough to hold yourself in really uncomfortable emotions and really create and build more emotional capacity, which is going to increase your awareness, and it's going to increase your ability to feel anything. And then when you can feel, you can really get in touch with where inner guidance is leading you and what is next for you in your life to be able to create and put power out into the world from that place. And I feel like that is a misconception, that it is something that can't be trusted, where in all actuality, it's the one thing that is never going to steer us wrong if we're able to lean in and be guided by the energy and the power that lives in our emotions.
Could not agree more, Tiffany, and really powerful to have that felt sense of emotions and to trust that intuitive self when it comes to knowing yourself and knowing how you might react to something, or how you might actually process things as well too, because I think emotions are a great tool for us to help when we go through change, to understand where we're at in the change cycle and where we're at in our personal change piece. Because with Diana's point before, that we are cyclic beings, we may have been there before and felt the feelings before in the situation before, but we can make different choices at different times too. So it's that being able to know yourself enough to gauge where you're at and what support you need, either from self or others, to then help you keep that flow. So love all of those aspects and misconceptions that we've brought up too. So I think we've probably got time for one more question before we then dive into how we can connect to all these beautiful, amazing speakers as well, with what their offerings are for us. So the last question before we dive into how we can contact you all is, really want people to be able to gain some valuable knowledge and practical techniques to enhance their emotional intelligence and to thrive in any situation. So the question will be, how can individuals develop and improve their emotional intelligence skills? So is there any techniques or exercises that you can share with us to be able to do that? And I think we'll start with Joyita, Tiffany, then Diana.
Thank you so much. I always rely on meditation for it's the answer for everything. So if we do a bit of mindfulness meditation, it helps you to enhance your self-awareness. So, like Diana says, it all begins with us. So once we enhance our self-awareness, our emotions are regulated, then we know where, why, how. I am, how it starts with me. And the self-reflection, this insight into this emotional patterns within me, helps in seeking the feedback. The feedback is obviously within us from the divine. How you can seek that feedback and encourages understanding how the emotions are impacting others. Reading also helps, and obviously this support group is very important. Like being in the presence of you all, we can enrich each other by being in the presence of a good network. Much it always starts with mindfulness meditation.
Great techniques there, Tiffany. Thanks, Joyita.
Yeah, this is so fun. I love this topic. This is what I really do, the nitty-gritty with my clients, and developing and improving our emotional intelligence skills has to start with connection. And where I like to bring my clients is out of their heads and from analyzing emotion, because we can often analyze how we feel and mistake that for feeling it. And I like to bring my clients into their bodies and really becoming aware of the sensations that are happening when they're feeling something intense, when they're feeling excited. How does that show up in your body? Does it you feel it in your tummy? Is it a bubbly energy? Or maybe you're feeling sad. Is there a tightness in your chest? So developing the skill to become emotionally aware starts with self-awareness. And I like to bring people to a very practical place, which is their physical body, and to really help them start to feel into and get curious about and just observe the sensations that come up in their body that coincide with what they're feeling and what they're thinking. And I think that's a beautiful practice, is to just become very body aware. And when you are feeling very overwhelmed or very excited or upset, angry, mad, sad, you name it, first place that we love to go is in our heads, which disconnects us from ourselves, our bodies, and the emotion. And it takes us further away from what it is that we actually need to feel safe while feeling that emotion. Whereas I teach a modality, number one step in that modality is to connect versus disconnect, where we're used to disconnecting, and starting with those sensations in our bodies. How do you feel? And can you sit with that feeling, be present and observe what you're feeling, and hold space in a very loving, compassionate way for the part of you that's feeling a lot of intense emotion. And it's very, very simple practice to come into your body, notice how you're breathing, and just observe any sensations that come up and be able to connect the dots of, when I feel sad, I feel tightness in my chest. Something simple like that is a really good practical practice to start with, to start to bring your awareness and your mind's focus into the body where emotions are held. And so we're not thinking our way through feelings, but we're actually feeling and connecting with the sensations that our body reveals as a result of emotion. It's a really fun practice.
And very practical. And I love that, Tiffany, because as a young child, my mum actually used to ask me, where is it in your body and what sensation is it? And it's great for, relationship with children, in asking them or helping them get that emotional intelligence, because it's like, oh, it's in my tummy, or it's a stabbing pain, or it's like, I used to do the hand signals, like it's like this, or it's like this. And it's a really great way to be able to observe yourself, and even as an adult go, yeah, it's doing this at the moment, and then once I acknowledge it, maybe it's doing this. So the acknowledgement also can move and shift, and so being able to track that around your body once you actually acknowledge the sensation is also an important tool too. Love that. Thanks, Tiffany. Diana, what are some of those tools or exercises?
First of all, I want to begin with a poem that I wrote 2 days ago about emotional freedom. Let me read it to you. Step today in your destiny. Step today on your path. Embark on the journey of the courage and love. Shine diamond light of your soul in the world. The lighthouse of joy in the midst of the storm. Find the passage that leads to your sacred heart. Through the filters of darkness that covers your eyes. Free emotional baggage. Free emotional pain. Free yourself from the karma through forgiveness and prayer. Get to know who you truly are by removing the veil from your eyes and your heart. Break the shackles of fear. Free yourself and the world from the negative feelings that are blocking your joy. Express your emotions. Let them fly into light, transforming yourself and transforming your life. So everything I wanted to say are the tools to transform your negative emotions. Don't hold them in. Don't disregard them. Don't put them under the carpet. And there are techniques which I will share techniques I use. The techniques was shown to me by Ascended Masters, Saint Germain, that came into my life some years ago to teach me how to transform negative emotions, not just to transform them in the positive, but transform them into light. Because negativity will wait for us until the moment we awake and will help us to accept it as our own, not as the separate matter. Because everything negative, it's within us and so without us. And it's part of one pole. One side is negative, one side is positive. And for us to find the golden balance, because each time we feel one day negative, one day positive, one day loving, one day angry, it keeps on back all over again and always will, because we live in the world of duality. We cannot get rid of it. The only thing what we need to do to know how to transmute negative emotions into light so they can be transformed without keeping within ourselves, without becoming ill and becoming negative and having problems with others because of our emotional negative baggage. So if you can imagine, if you can close your eyes for a moment and imagine a violet flame burning bright underneath of your feet and raising up through the sole of your feet, all the way up, covering your body as a 9 feet tall, all over within you and without you. And it's penetrating every cell of your body, every particle, every atom, transforming and transmuting everything negative within yourself into the light, freeing yourself from negative emotions, freeing yourself from the negative thoughts, giving you feeling of lightness. And these emotions are no longer a burden. They are enlightened. They taught you. They are your friends. They're going back into the light to be transmuted into the higher consciousness, freeing yourself and freeing your world. And this violet flame meditation can be performed every second and every moment of your life by simply closing your eyes and imagining yourself standing in the violet flame. And this flame, by the way, it's not burning, it's cooling. This flame helps you to heal yourself, to heal every organ and every particle of your body, transforming anything negative that's stuck somewhere inside of your body without your knowledge and awareness, to give you lightness, to give you inspiration, and to lift you up from this negativity you felt a moment ago. So thank you so much. I just wanted to share this with you because it's a tool. You can have it for the rest of your life. It just takes a few moments just to close your eyes and to visualize you are transmuting everything that happened a moment ago, a quarrel, a negative conversation, an abusive thought. Somebody came into your life and upset you, and this upset will stay within you as long as you not letting go. But to let go, it's the most difficult things in life. So when you let go through the process of transmutation, without your knowledge, force, or understanding, it will happen. Believe in your magic.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Jana. That's a lovely practice. And also the art of writing poems and, putting pen to paper, I think you also shared as well too, which was wonderful. Thank you. Something for me is nature. nature is a beautiful reflection. So sometimes I sit in nature and I feel the wind, and I go, wow, what emotion is that bringing up for me? What's that reflecting? And I can, let the wind take away the emotion, or I can let it mask my screaming if I need to let some emotion out. I can, use the elements and nature to be able to also help me release some of the emotions that I need to. I'm sure we could talk about this topic for a lot longer, but we do have to wrap up now. So I would love to just go around and ask where we can connect with you and what offers you might have. I'm looking at myself, and I've got the Sydney Tribe. So we have an online gathering and also an in-person gathering around Sydney. So if you'd like more details about that, I have the Sydney Tribe connection, and also at bexsmith.com.au if you'd like to connect with me. I've got a lovely flow report which will help you be your inner cheerleader for change, and help you connect with those elements which will help you connect with yourself and your emotions as well. So let's hear let's go with Diana first, short and sharp, and then we'll go Tiffany and Joyita so we can get us all in before 8 o'clock.
Thank you, everyone, for today's amazing session. I just want to say, if you want to find me, my platform, it's called thediamondwithin.co.uk. You will find there my book. I'm writing currently a second book of poetry, transformational poetry, to help people to connect to themselves. So I just wanted to say, if you want to give yourself a gift of life, I will be more than honored and more than happy to help you to step into your new destiny, to empower yourself, to be successful, happy, healthy, and joyful, with all my love.
Thank you. Tiffany, I think it wasn't it next? Yep, let's go.
Oh, yes. Sorry. So you can find me at tiffanycoachme.com. That's my website. I am on social media as well, Facebook and Instagram. I'm sure they'll be sharing some links. And I am offering a free 45-minute wake-up call with me. If you're really ready to wake up to who you truly are and remove the blockages that have you feeling like you're in this robotic stage on autopilot in your life, and you know that there's more, but you're just not quite sure how to get to it or what steps to take, I could help you, and I would love to support you through that process and taking a tour on your inner world and learning and navigating how to come home to yourself, how to come home to your body. And I would love to offer that to anybody who is interested in exploring more about their emotional health and how to heal.
Beautiful. Thanks, Tiffany. And Joyita.
Thank you. You can find me on healingmiracles.in. In is for India. And all my other details would be given in the comment section. I'm also the host for this tribe called the Child Within. You can connect on the Sacred You community. And in India, we are starting with a lot of festivals, time for festivals. It is also a time for divine interventions. We take a lot of help from the goddesses, the divine feminine. So I am centering certain of the workshops around the sacred feminine, as well as on ancestral healing. So you can visit my website. All the details would be there. I'm there on Facebook. Best way and the easiest way to get to me is to just DM me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for all of your wisdom and all of your encouragement and techniques, and really encourage everybody to get in touch with one or all of these beautiful speakers today so that they can help you on your emotional intelligence journey as well. Also love to thank Trina and Sophia for being fantastic support, and you can obviously connect with Sacred You through the links that will be in all the comments as well too. So thanks for joining us. Love that you participated. Thanks to Bethlehem, who always shows up. I love it. And for all of you watching on any of the channels as well too, thank you for showing up for yourselves. Have a good night.